thingies too.
Yeah, so they always rewrite history, even rap and different kinds of music. We know that ska, all of those kinds of music, we know that jazz, they came from black origins, and now the history has been rewritten, and then it makes it seem like it belongs to, or it came from the Caucasian when it didn't.
Okay, well, all praise is due to Allah. Let's hope and pray that we can look at this, stopping the killing, from more different angles, and it can start to really take off in the way that it needs to take off, if in truth we want to stop the killing. Because just this week in the UK, we have seen that there's an 11-year-old who has been shot dead. Yeah? Some people rolled up on him, shot him dead. And this is a white young boy.
Yeah.
A Caucasian young boy was shot dead. And all of a sudden, the media has gone on to another level in Stop the Killing. It's as though when black people are killing, when we are killing one another, it's containable. Some lines will be issued in the news, a report will be issued on the TV, the cameras will go down, maybe, possibly, and you'll get a shot of a distraught parent.
And some flowers.
And some the youth on the street speaking their slang. But this is a whole new level, sister. A whole new level of coverage. Yeah. I was looking in the Times yesterday, and about 5 whole pages was turned over to this stopping the killing now. Gang culture now. Youth on the website now. Wild children now. When we've been talking about it, we've had our Talk 24, Stop the Killing, earlier on this year on Genesis. But all of a sudden, it's taken on a whole new energy.
Yeah, it's really something, because when we look at the way that this society is run, it's like people don't. We're taught to be quite individualistic. We don't care. We're not taught and trained to care for other people. So it's not always necessary. We're not trained as children to be charitable within this society, or as children to give back to the society and the community. So what ends up happening is that we only care once it hits our doorstep. As long as the shooting was happening over in the black community, it's okay. Let them kill themselves and one another. But when it starts to spill out into the white community now, that's when you know that it starts to affect everyone, and when they're going to start doing something about it. With the rap music, when it was talking about shooting and killing and everything, when it was only done by black people, and when it was only black people who were doing it, they were fine. It was fine, absolutely fine. Now that the white children have gone and on board and are excited by it and inspired by it and are doing things like it, then they started to try and monitor it a bit more. But you see, when we wait for something to happen to us, it's already too late, brothers and sisters. It's already too late. Because we know we're going to get to that stage, because we know that my children are going to be teenagers at some point, it's important for me to help to set a foundation for them before they get there, so that something's already there for them.
All praise is due to Allah. This is something that we need to be getting on, brothers and sisters. And any help that we can get, we need to be grabbing hold of it by Allah's grace and mercy. But they say prevention is better than cure. Prevention is better. What we're doing now is a kind of mopping up situation.
Yeah, damage limitation.
Yeah.
And, even just looking at it, we're looking at the little boy, who died, and looking at an 11-year-old. When I was 11, I remember when I was 11, and in order for me to understand that, I sometimes go back into and reflect on myself and my life. When I was 11 years old, we weren't interested in stuff like guns or anything. We weren't interested in going around fighting and all of that stuff, or interested in going and mugging and hurting or stabbing or shooting or getting stopped by the police. All of the pressures that are on the children now, I can't even imagine what it would have been like at 11 to have to try and maneuver through a society such as this. It's hell, brothers and sisters. It's hell. There's no other way around it. It's just a manifestation of hell.
Hell on earth. Well, sister, this brings us nicely into the topic today. This week we're looking at war games, and in particular the console. Yeah, because we have to look at this from all the different angles. We have to touch all the different angles. I know that there's companies out there, computer companies, PSP, Xbox, Game Boy, and all those companies out there, and they will say there is no evidence that says children playing on these games causes them to be more violent, to be more aggressive. They will say that, but we have to look at it. Children play so much PSP, Xbox, Game Boy. I believe, and there is a school of thought that concurs that they have trouble distinguishing between reality and virtual reality. Now, this is not on a general. There are some who will be able to maneuver more easier than others. But there will be the ones and twos who have trouble distinguishing from reality with virtual reality. And the reason I say that is our son has a PSP and he plays these computer games. And in these computer games, the characters in the games can do things, supernatural things. They can defy the laws of physics. And then when we go out to play football in the real world, I will find Elijah, our son, trying to defy the law of physics. He'll be running at top speed, and then he'll try and turn at a 90-degree angle, which is physically impossible. But in his mind, brothers and sisters, he believes I can make this turn. So he will run and he will turn sharp. And of course he will tangle up and roll over on the floor, graze himself up, cut himself up. And Elijah, our son Elijah, he always picks up these horrendous injuries. Guaranteed. You send him out to the football pitch, out to the skate park, out to the playground. He's coming back with torn up knee, torn up chin, grazed up elbow. And it's because he's tried to do something which is physically impossible. In his mind, it's like, I can do this. And it comes across in a very reckless way. Our children seem to be reckless. And it's not really that they're reckless, it's that they actually believe, brothers and sisters. They actually believe that they can do these things that they see happen in the games.
Yeah, they even more so, they believe that they can do these things in the games and survive.
Yes.
They think they can do it and survive. And the Bible says it like this: as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Ooh.
And when they're playing, when you see people playing, I saw a man playing a PSP on a bus. And he was playing and he's saying, go on, get him, kill him. And you're thinking evil thoughts in your heart at that particular moment. And that's what's happening. And it's all going around your system. And those thoughts are flying around our system and affecting our brain. When a baby's in a womb, brothers and sisters, when the baby is in the womb, it can hear noises, but it can't distinguish whether the anger or the joy or whatever the feeling is directed at the baby itself, or whether it's directed at somebody else. It can't distinguish. And when our children are quite young, they can't distinguish either. It's like when we were young, I know I did, and I know some other people do as well. They thought that when